airports make people feel safe. That's the biggest lie. Security cameras, bright lights, 1,000 strangers moving in every direction. Everyone assumes nothing truly evil can hide in a place designed to watch everything. They think monsters avoid crowds. They think horrors need darkness. They're wrong. Some things don't hide in the shadows. They hide in plain sight, where no one pays attention because they're too busy sprinting toward departure gates, scrolling through phones, arguing with airline staff, dragging suitcases through TSA. And the thing that lives in the old black terminal of Clearwater International, it relies on that blindness. Every airport has a graveyard. Wings that were shut down decades ago, gates left untouched, tunnels boarded up after renovations, hallways that no one questions because airports are too big for anyone to know what's actually underneath. Clearwater's Black Terminal was sealed in 1993 after an electrical fire killed 7 workers. Officially, the damage was structural. Unofficially, something else happened inside that night. Something the airport buried deeper than the concrete they poured over the entrance. But concrete doesn't stop everything. Years later, passengers waiting for delayed 2 a.m. flights started reporting shadows slipping under the automatic doors. Strange reflections appearing in the black glass windows. A figure walking through restricted corridors without being on any camera feed. Luggage disappearing. Screams echoing inside empty hangars. Most people never heard those stories because the airport's PR team buried them under noise, just like they buried the old terminal. But one person didn't ignore it. He couldn't. His name was Eric Dalton, a night shift maintenance worker who'd spent 20 years in that airport. A man who didn't scare easily. A man who had seen the worst of humanity. Violence, drunk passengers, emergencies, deaths, plane failures, but never believed in the supernatural. Until the night he found a suitcase that didn't belong to any flight. A black suitcase with no tag, with something moving inside it. He reported it. Security brushed him off. He brought it to Lost and Found. The cameras glitched the moment he entered. When he finally opened it, whatever was inside wasn't alive. And it wasn't human. Airport staff pretended nothing happened. The footage disappeared. The logs were wiped. But from that night on, something started following Eric through the terminals. Never close, never seen completely. Just a figure reflected in polished floors or glass doors right after he passed by. Tall, featureless, moving without sound. Passengers saw it behind him. Cameras didn't. 2 weeks later, Eric vanished. His vest was found in a service tunnel that wasn't on any map. The airport declared it an accident. But accidents don't leave claw marks in concrete. Eric's disappearance should have been the end of it. But his younger brother, Mark, didn't let it go. And on the night of September 17, 2022, he broke into Clearwater International after hours with nothing but his brother's old keycard, a flashlight, and a belief that the airport was lying. Mark was right. What he found inside the sealed corridors of the Black Terminal wasn't an accident, or a fire, or a ghost story. It was a thing that feeds on the forgotten. A thing the airport covered up for 3 decades. A thing that can only be seen through reflections, not with naked eyes. A thing that was waiting for him. What happened that night is the reason the terminal is still closed. It's the reason security refuses to talk about the body they found in the maintenance shaft. It's the reason the airport still denies the existence of a sealed-off wing even though you can see the old gate numbers under the painted walls if you look close enough. This story isn't inspired by real events. It is a real event. And everything you're about to hear is pulled from Mark's recovered phone recordings, his notes, his brother's maintenance logs, and an internal airport report that was never meant to be seen. But now you're going to hear it, because the airport didn't bury the truth deep enough. And the thing inside the Black Terminal, it never stopped watching. The night Clearwater International announced another round of post-midnight flight delays. The terminals thinned out until only the desperate remained. Stranded passengers pacing in circles, half-asleep families wrapped in thin airport blankets, and workers who'd been on their feet long enough to forget what fresh air felt like. At the far end of Terminal C, where the lights flickered once every 8 seconds, Eric Dalton rolled his maintenance cart down the polished floor, studying the reflection beneath him instead of the hallway in front of him. After 20 years of night shifts, he'd learned a simple truth. Airports reveal more in reflections than in direct sight. Glass doesn't lie. Floors don't lie. Câmeras do. It was 2:17 a.m. when he spotted it. A black suitcase sitting upright beside a shuttered snack counter. No tag. No irline sticker. No scratches, stickers, or travel wear. Just matte black. Perfectly still. But that wasn't the part that froze him. The suitcase wasn't there 90 seconds earlier. He turned around, scanning the silent concourse. Not a soul. Not a cleaning crew. Not a late passenger sprinting in a panic. Nobody. Yet the suitcase waited, placed cleanly in the center of the hallway. Like someone put it there deliberately for him to find. Eric exhaled sharply, irritation mixing with dread. Lost luggage wasn't his department, but abandoned baggage always had to be reported. Protocol. No exceptions. He pushed his cart closer. Halfway there, the overhead lights flickered again. Once, twice, then steadied. Eric stopped. The suitcase shifted. Just an inch. Not enough to be dramatic. Just enough for him to know he didn't imagine it. He stepped back. Okay, no. He muttered under his breath, rubbing his forehead. Not tonight. He tried radioing security. Static. He tried again. More static. Every frequency dead. That was new. Eric circled the suitcase slowly, eyes sharp, scanning for any movement inside. Maybe an animal? Maybe a battery-powered device? Maybe another idiot prank? He crouched. The case expanded slightly like pressure building underneath it. He jerked back. Something was moving inside. That did it. He wheeled his cart forward, grabbed a pair of gloves, and lifted the suitcase. It was lighter than it should have been. Wrongly light. But the real problem was the shape. Whatever was inside wasn't solid. It shifted like loose fabric or fluid weight, but with intent, not randomness. Eric carried it toward Lost and Found, pushing through a service door that always groaned twice before closing. Tonight, it didn't groan at all. Inside the Lost and Found storage room, the one camera in the corner flickered, glitched, then shut off completely. No feed. No recording. Nothing. Eric set the suitcase on the steel table, mentally preparing himself for the worst. A trapped animal, a drone battery about to explode, maybe even something alive in a way he didn't want to think about. He unlatched the zipper. A faint tap echoed inside the suitcase, like fingertips knocking from the inside. Eric's breath caught. He unzipped it halfway. Cold draft poured out. Impossible. Suitcases don't create drafts. He opened it fully. Nothing. No clothes. No electronics. No tags. Just an empty, pitch-black interior, deeper than it should have been. Like the inside didn't match the size outside. Eric leaned closer. The blackness shifted. It receded, like a shadow pulling away from light. His reflection in the metal table blurred. Then the shadow moved upward fast. Eric stumbled back, knocking over a shelf. Objects clattered across the room. Chargers, wallets, keys, bags. The lights flickered violently. A tall, featureless figure rose from the suitcase's interior. Not climbing, not emerging, but unfolding from that impossible darkness. No face, no eyes, no mouse. Just a smooth, human-shaped silhouette made of black static. Eric froze. His brain shut down, instinct screaming to run, but his legs refused to obey. The figure held still. Then it tilted its head as if studying him. Every nerve in Eric's body fired at once. He bolted for the door. Behind him, the figure's footsteps made no sound, but its presence pressed against his spine like cold breath. He slammed into the hallway and sprinted, heart hammering against his ribs. His radio crackled weakly, nothing useful. He needed the security office. Cameras. Personnel. Witnesses. Anything. He turned the corner and stopped dead. In the polished airport floor, he saw his reflection. Just his reflection. Behind it, nothing. But he felt it behind him, close enough for his pulse to falter. He spun around. Empty hallway. He checked the reflection again. This time, the figure stood directly behind his reflection, inches away, but not in the real hallway. Only in the reflection. Eric stumbled backward, nearly slipping. He looked up. The actual hallway was empty, but every reflective surface, floor tiles,